Hello everyone, we are doing another video similar to last week because we still have not caught up with our schedule. We had some issues with our kitchen again. So we will be doing another galaxy animal, but this time we're doing a cat. I have already pre-sketched it so that we don't have to go through that again. Just need to erase my pencil lines. So I did this earlier off camera. And today we're going to be colouring with the Cra-Z-Art coloured pencils. So this will be a galaxy cat. I thought it'd be fun to do another galaxy themed animal. Alright, so I just need to pre-sharpen some of these colours. I haven't sharpened these before. I'm a little bit concerned because they have this seam going down here, but that one's sharpened okay. So let's start colouring. So the kitchen has come along a good way. We just hit some issues when it came to the plumbing and initially getting the kitchen sink into the countertop that we had prepared for it. So the kitchen counter and the sink are both Ikea products. And even though this sink is able to go into this particular counter unit, there is no pre-cut holes for it in the countertop, which means that you have to do it manually. So we basically built most of the cabinet, put the countertop on. We didn't screw it on just yet. And then you're supposed to put the sink on top and you're supposed to trace around the sink. And then you need a jigsaw to cut out this hole. Also in your measurements you need to go leave a few centimeters on either side so the sink has something to sit onto before you clamp it into place. It's all very well and dandy until we made the hole, and then we thought it'd be okay to screw the countertop on, and then we thought we could add in the sink and its clasps after the fact. And then we learned the very hard way, no, that it's not going to work. So we had to unscrew the countertop, much to my dismay. We ended up stripping a few screws so we had to get some replacements. And then the clamp system of the sink is not very well explained. I don't know if it's just us, but both my husband and I feel that IKEA instructions are not as clear or as good as they used to be. They failed to mention the fact that the clasp system, these clamps, have like a screw. And they don't tell you that you can unscrew this thing a bit so that you can bend the clip backwards so it makes it easier for the counter to go over. They don't tell you that. So after a lot of struggling, unscrewing the counter, trying a few times, getting frustrated, we eventually got the kitchen sink into the countertop. We started after 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday and we only finished around midnight. We didn't get much sleep because both of us, we were knackered beyond anything, and we both had the most painful muscle pain from dealing with all of this. It was so tiring. I still feel really tired, but it's a little bit better now, but it's still going to take some time to kind of recover from that. Then on Sunday we did the plumbing, which thankfully wasn't too bad. We have hit a few problems. We do have a leak. Thankfully it's not a bad leak. But we do have a leak and we are figuring out what to do about it. We're probably going to get a plumber in. For now we just have a spare bucket in the cabinet itself just to catch the drips when it does happen, which it's thankfully not such a frequent thing, but it is happening, unfortunately. So to backtrack a bit to Saturday, before we could put the new counter in the place where the old counter used to be, that counter with the sink, the old one, had been there ever since we moved in. Yeah, nobody prepared us for the true horrors of when we moved that counter away from the wall. Whoever lived here previously seemed to be confused on what a rubbish bin was, because there was so much rubbish under the counter, like a box of old chocolate biscuits that I don't think are even on the market anymore. I think there were a couple of rubber gloves stuffed under there, a couple of tissues, an old egg carton, thankfully with no eggs in it. But I mean, who stores rubbish under a counter? I don't know how some people live. I mean, I have to have everything tidy around me, else I go bonkers. So the cleanup also took some time, which was super annoying. But we are getting more or less near the end of this whole kitchen nightmare, so to speak. Okay, I did sharpen this one. I know I'm changing the topic. I did sharpen this one a bit earlier. It seems to have split a little. But let's just press on and see how far we go. So I am going about this a little bit differently to how I did with the Labrador. Make a little galaxy cat. I must say I'm really impressed with these Cra-Z-Art color pencils. They're actually really nice. They're very similar to the Crayolas, I feel. So I have absolutely no issues working with these. So also back to Saturday. So I mean, my husband has mentioned a few times in our videos that he is struggling with his eyes a lot. So he recently had his eyes tested, and I was also overdue for an eye test. So we both had our eyes tested recently, and our new glasses were ready on Saturday as well. So we went to go pick them up. He hasn't worn glasses for a very long time, so he has to take time to adjust. He actually needs 2 pairs. One to see close and one to see far, so he just went for the one for close for now, because he needs it for his work. He uses a computer a lot, so it made sense. For me, I need glasses all the time. I'm very nearsighted. So I was 2 years overdue for my eye test, and my results are that my eyes have degraded a lot since my last test, and my prescription is quite a bit stronger. So after skipping that one pair of glasses that I should have had, these are considerably stronger than my previous pair, which means I actually need time to adjust to it. So it's starting to get a bit better, thankfully. Some things are still looking not so great. So when I first put them on, I was like, whoa, everything is super sharp, but at the same time, it's like my eyes wanted to go squint to compensate for it. But no, they assured me at the shop that it's okay. It's because my prescription is considerably different to my last one, and it's going to take some time to adjust. So I was like, okay. So I decided to just wear my new glasses. I am resisting the urge to put on my old ones. So my husband and I went shopping. We had to go to the hardware shop to get a few more things for the kitchen. So I wore my new glasses the entire time, and I need to explain, the city we live in is pretty hilly, and a lot of the pavements are kind of skew at an angle because it's very hilly here. Kind of similar to San Francisco in a way. So I'm used to skew pavements and everything, and I didn't notice that my glasses are actually distorting my vision. And then when we went up the staircase at one of the stations, that's when I noticed that the staircases were like slanted. Like this would be a straight one, and then that would be a skew one. So it looked like everything was slanted off to the left, and it was pretty disorientating. Thankfully, it's starting to get a lot better. I'm not noticing it as much anymore. The initial putting on my glasses in the morning is not so much of a shock anymore. Every day it's getting a little bit better. But I must say Saturday, and also struggling with the kitchen at the same time and still wearing the new glasses. I could not measure anything with the ruler because it looked like everything was not lining up to me, even though it was. No, that was really something. But thankfully everything did end up straight in the alignment of the shelves in the cabinet. So I got my husband to triple check. Oh yeah, that was not good, but thankfully I'm starting to see a bit better now. Sometimes, like the sharpener, sometimes if it's off to the side, it looks kind of oblong, but it's starting to get better now. So in this pack we actually have a pink, which we didn't have in the Cra-Z set. So I will be using that for the little nose. I'm kind of new to drawing cats. I mean, I've always drawn them, but I never put that much effort into them like I did with all the dog breeds that I've always drawn. It's only recently where I'm practicing drawing cats a lot more, because every cat and every cat breed, they all have distinctive little things about them, and it's always fun to try and capture what makes a cat unique. So I mean, this one here is kind of an inspiration from one of our cats that we lost earlier this year, who crossed over the Rainbow Bridge. Her name was Georgie. So I'm kind of inspired by Georgie for this one, even though she had like greenish yellow eyes. I decided to do them blue, just to go on with our little theme here. But yeah, I want to base this one on Georgie because I really do miss her. I'm colouring a little bit softer than I did with the Labrador, because Georgie, she was a black and white cat, well mainly white. These darker areas with all the purple and the dark blue and the black, that is where her black markings were, and the rest of her was white. So I'm trying to kind of stick to that theme with her as a galaxy cat. So I'm just going with some pinks, well pink, and some light blue. I might go in with some purple and add some definition, but I'm trying to not go as dark with this one as I did with the Labrador, just because I want to try and keep it in character. Okay, I'd say she's about done. I'm not gonna do the ink thing again. Instead, I'm just gonna take this Sharpie and I'm just gonna go around her. If this was a bigger book, I probably would have just got acrylic paint, but this is a smaller sketchbook. The one that I was drawing the Labrador in, I have actually finished. Just want to do some final touches to a few images in there, and then we can do a sketchbook tour. Okay, let's go with the ink again. Hopefully it's will be okay with the marker. How much did it go through? Oh, not so bad. And there we go. We have ourselves a galaxy cat. Some of the stars came out a bit bigger, but I am filming a bit closer. I didn't want to go too far away and splash the camera full of ink. So I was a bit tough about those, but I think it came out actually okay. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see more galaxy animals out there because they're a joy to do and they're a joy to look at. Thanks so much for watching. Until next week, goodbye.